And it's still setting up on your screen. My internet is acting a little funny.
I got the message saying that you're recording. I think that's what it said.
Yeah, it's interesting that it says that it's live on YouTube, but oh, now it's redirecting. Okay, something's going to happen now. There we go. Oh, we made it. We're on. There we go. All right. So, you guys, happy Halloween. And happy Sunday. Okay, I better have a little bit more coffee. It's so cold here. Is everyone else, now we know Barb's frozen like me. Is anyone else totally frozen?
Well, I shouldn't really complain because on Vancouver Island, we're not known for winter, but it actually feels cold here today.
Oh, does it? Ugh.
Yeah, frosty.
Yeah, it's really frosty outside today. Anyone else have, Diane, how is it for you in Ontario? Yeah, freezing, hey? No, there's gotta be, Vicky, it's down in Montana. How is it down in Montana?
It's 32 at my house.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
Is that warm?
Are you talking like 32 degrees Celsius?
What do you have? No.
We've got
Oh,
minus 7 Celsius, so 32 in
Oh.
Montana. That doesn't sound very warm. 32 Fahrenheit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hi, Leslie.
All right, you guys. Let's do this, hey? We'll think about the weather another time. Like in spring. That's when I want to think about the weather again, in spring. All right, I'm just going to grab our... There we go. I've got level 2 of Imagine ready to go, and we'll just kind of build up from there because I've got level 4 that I did up today. But let's start off a little bit. Oh yeah, I've got level 4 now too, Vicky. I want to talk a little bit about nail care with you guys because it depends on who plays with nails versus who plays just with fingertips. Now I play with nails, so that's why I thought, well, I should talk with you guys just quickly about it. Now I will say my nails they're cracked, they're peeling. I've been just able to kind of, I don't know if you can see on the screen there. They're really glossed up with nail polish because they're really cracked right now. I don't know what's going on, but what I want you to see is that I angle my nails that way. Like I don't just file them straight. Okay, so when I file my nails for playing, I angle them so that when I'm playing, I've got these little tiny, it's like guitar picks, right? So that my nails are ready to, oh my gosh, I really need to redo all that gold on my nails. They're so bad right now. But what happens is the business side of the pick of the nail is on the side that I'm picking. That's what I want you guys to think about. If you are going to grow your nails, there, that's a good one up against my hair. See how it's angled like that? It's different, hey? Like rather than straight. The reason why I do that is so the nail glides smoothly across the string on this side, just has a bright finish on that side. Then what I do, so I file like that, and then here's a piece of nail polish or nail buffer I keep in my ukulele case, just 500 grit sandpaper. Now I use that because take off a piece, hold it on my thumb, and then I just go like that, and it fits the shape of my nail. So if you ever need to buff your nail, like if you're playing with nails on your ukulele, you need to buff your nail quickly. Oh, fine grit sandpaper is so nice. And I just hold it like that. It fits the shape of my nail and cleans up all the little bits, all the little snaggy bits, just like that. So I usually have 500 grit and 600 grit that I use to do this sort of stuff. It's my poor nails. They're very thin. My nails, they're thin and they're weak, so I tend to I have to keep throwing a lot of nail polish and sometimes tons of crazy glue on them. I think I'm at the crazy glue point where I've got to hold them together, but we do what we do when we play, right? So who here plays with nails versus fingertips? Does anyone play with nails? Nails? Okay. So Vicky and Barb. And does anyone on this side of the screen play with nails? No, just a couple, okay. Well, and you don't have to use nails to finger pick, right? But if you do, you might want to consider, like I say, just the angle that you file your nails. And it's personal, right? And it depends on your nail shape too. But consider it, play around with it. Adele, you use nails as well? You do, eh? Now, do you file them on an angle like that, or do you keep them straight? Like just a regular curve? What do you do?
I just do them normal.
You do, eh? Yeah. And this is where it depends on the person. I've seen some people have really long nails that are straight, and other people angle them. But it's an interesting conversation, to think about nail shape. I find it really handy for me because when I do a lot of hard strums on the way down, because of the way those nails are filed, they don't get in the way, that nothing stops a really hard strumming. Everything's just like a nice little ramp like that.
I'm going to try that. That sounds like a good thing to try.
It's worth experimenting with for sure.
Yeah,
You don't really think about it unless you look at someone else's nails, right? So
really.
yeah.
I think
I
if
have to
I,
make sure they don't get dry because they'll crack if they get dry.
Yeah,
So I rub hand cream into my nails every night before I go to bed.
I rub hand cream into mine too, and it doesn't seem to do anything.
Ah,
I'm missing something. In my
I have pretty tough nails though, so.
I've always had feeble nails.
if I painted my nails red, they would talk at the office.
Would they? Oh, Larry, let them talk. Just
I had weak nails, really thin. And I was listening to the radio on my local health guy,
Mhm.
and he had somebody on about that made diatomaceous earth and said that was good for nails. Put it in your coffee or your tea, like a tablespoon
yeah.
at a
Are you kidding
a
me?
day.
They
No,
use that for deworming
bug-
dogs.
yeah, and it kills ants and stuff like that. But you have to get it not from the feed store. You get it from a health food store, or a supplement store, and you can get it online, human grade. So I did that, and so it's going to take a while for your nails to grow out.
Mhm.
So you have to be patient, and it might take about a year, but my nails are in really good shape now, and
They are,
it's
right?
yeah,
Hmm.
because they were really thin, but they're they're in good shape for me. They're not long, and they're still soft, but at least they're not peeling and cracking.
That's the other thing I find is key is not to let them get too long. Just keep them
Yeah.
at a nice length. But like I
tend
said,
to-
I have tough nails, so it's not the same for me.
Yeah, you've got tough nails, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that when I'm trying to pick with my nails, my fingers touch first. So I'm getting the skin and then the finger. So maybe my nails aren't long enough.
That's how I play though. I get fingertip first, and then it's a bright finish with my nail. So if I
No,
Okay.
I don't.
see if I can I'll just mute you guys so it stays on my screen here. And when I play, see how it's fingertip first for me too, and then nail. Like if you play just with nail, it gives it kind of a clattery sound, but it still touches with fingertip. I can't really line it up on the screen really well, but I still start with the fingertip, and then the nail gives it a bright finish. But when I'm doing a lot of, went out of focus here. when I'm doing a lot of really heavy strumming, I do tend to just hit with my nails, you know, and that's where I like to have them long so I can really tee off on the strings. But, you know, experiment with the shape of your nails. The thing that I like to do is on that side of my nail, the side that is more likely to be picking the string, is I keep it really, like right there on that side, I keep it really smooth so that there's no little sharp bits sticking out. I like that side to be nice and really well rounded, so it just kind of glides off the string. Look at us sitting here talking about our nails on a Sunday morning. But experiment, you know, play around with it. Unless you're worried about what people say about you at the office, Larry, and you shouldn't worry about it. You just do you, Larry. You do you. All right, you guys. I'm going back to a little bit of playing rather than nail talk. All right, let's do this here. Let's play around with some scales first. Okay, get ourselves lined up. Now, I still haven't put those scales up on my webpage. I'll try to do it today. But today is moving day, I believe, for me to move finally into my shed. So I'll be doing that. Hopefully my nails won't break. Okay, so let's play the C major scale. We'll do it two different ways. Okay, so we'll do it just up and down the third string, so we have a chance to warm up our fingers back and forth a bit. So our frets are going to be open, and then 2, and then 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Go back down to the beginning, and we're going to teeter-totter, thumb and index finger. Okay, I'll move this camera down a little bit here. There. Okay, so this is what I want you guys to do. So thumb on the third string, index finger on the first string. Okay, we'll do 4 reps of each note so that you have time to just practice that technique. 3, 4. Now your second fret. You can use the same finger for plucking that first string open if you want. Maybe you want to use your middle finger. 5th fret. 7th fret. 9th. 11. Little clashy. And 12. Back to 11. 7. Oh, pardon me, 9. Now 7. 5. 4. 2. And open. Okay, so the whole thing with that is not really to warm up your fretting hand. It's to warm up your picking hand, right? Now, I don't know if you guys noticed what I did there, but I started off like this, right? Just with that index finger. And then I switched. Used my middle. And then, after a while, I was doing this. The reason why I was doing that is that I use these scales as a tool to warm up my hands, right? And I practiced my picking with one finger, and then I went and practiced it with another, and then I started alternating, because it's a good way to get your fingers moving. So use the scale as a tool, you know, and do those sorts of things. It's really worthwhile. If you're feeling comfortable with alternating fingers, if you're not there yet, stay on the one finger. Okay. So let's do it one more time. Here we go. And you've got 4, that's why you've got 4 plucks per note, so you get a chance to warm up, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and open. And 2. 4, 2, 3, and 5. 7, 9, 11, 12. Back down to 11. 9, 7, 5, 4, 2, open. Does anybody here remember the fancy ending you can use when you're ending something in the key of C? We haven't played that. Oh, Barb remembers it. Oh, Larry's about to do it. Let's do a quick review of that, because we haven't done that in so long. Okay, so 3rd string open, 2nd string open, 3rd fret on that 2nd string, and just shift right up to your 8th fret. And then when you're ready, hit that 3rd string open. It's a C arpeggio. Okay, so let's do it again. Make sure everyone remembers it. You can use it just in different songs where you end off on the key of C if it's kind of a slow song and you want to have some sort of little finish, right? So 3rd string, 2nd string, 3rd fret on that 2nd string, 8th fret on that 2nd string, let it ring out, do a little vibrato if you want, wiggle back and forth, 3rd string open. I've got to write down these fancy finishes on a sheet for people so they can go through and pick them out, because there's so many. All right, giving myself more homework is what I'm doing. You got it, Larry? Nice. That was cool. Yep, nice. All right, we've done the scale on one string, gotten you guys to warm up your fingers. Fancy finish, that's one of those guys that we're going to have to keep practicing so it stays in your tool belt and you can tag it into different songs. Let's do Imagine level 2. Okay, we'll do a quick review of that and make sure that we're comfortable with it, address any questions that we might have, and then level 3, and then I'll show you guys level 4. All right, sip of coffee first though. And level 4, it gets really busy with alternating thumb and index finger, or these two guys double stop picking and thumb. So it'll be good that we build up to it. All right, so Imagine level 2. I'll share the screen so that we've all got it. Can you guys see that okay when I enlarge it like that? Yeah, okay. quick run through here. Did you guys hear that sound from my side of the screen? My printer is doing something. No? Don't hear it? Okay, good. Then I'll ignore it too. All right, so we've got our intro. Our intro is going to stay the same on whichever copy we have. It doesn't change. So we've got that double stop picking with the key of, or with the C chord. Down to C major 7, then to F. Repeat it. C major 7, F. Try hammer-ons if you want. Next 9. 1 and 2 and strum your F, 3 and 4 and F, 2, 3, 4 next line. F chord. 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, O. F chord, and I scroll up. There we go. Fancy A minor. 7 in the 5s. 2, 3, F chord, now under the G. And I scroll back to the repeat marker here on line 2. 1, 2, F chord strum. And F chord. Now we're on the next line, bar 7 under the C. F chord strum. Okay, now the F chord strum. Now we're at bar 11. O3, O special A minor. Now 7 in the 5s. 2, 3, F chord strum. Under the G, you've got that pinch with the 4th string open in the 2nd fret. Okay, under the NC, which means no chord, we've got that 7, 10, 7, 10, and I'm going to scroll just so we can see this last little bit. Okay, so now we're at bar 15, the top of the page there. F, O, 3 under the G, 2 and O. E7 strum. F, O, 3, 2, 2, O, O, and under the C chord. E7 strum. Okay, last line now. F, O, 3, 2, O, 2. Pull off if you can do it. 3, O, 3, E7 strum. 2, F, 3, 3 under the G, 5 and open. 3, 5, 7, 3, 3. Now, questions about that one. I know that some people are having a bit of a challenge changing from the E7 to the F chord. I'm wanting to know how that's going. Is it getting a little bit easier to make that change as you practice? Yeah. Big thing too, when you're doing that, isolate that part, the E7 to the F, and watch your fretting hand when you do that. You know, like, don't worry about looking at the music. Isolate that as a separate thing and go E7. Watch that fretting hand, F, and go back and forth. I call them chord push-ups. Do your push-ups. How about the pull-off section there, bar 20?
Could you do that really slow, Tina?
Yep, the
Thank you.
part. Yep, the part with the pull-off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And what I'll do you want me to stop sharing the screen so you can watch my hands? Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so the last line of level 2, I'll play the whole last line, okay? So it starts with just a little strum on your F. Here comes the pull off. So I pick the 3. Okay, so when I do that pull off, and then E7, 1, 2 to F. The pull off is a technique that's really neat when you get it. Just feels like a bit of a journey to get there. But I pick the note, pick the 3rd fret note, and instead of just actively pulling my finger off the string like that, or passively pulling it off the string like that, I actively pick that string with my finger before, and that helps to make it ring open. That's the trick there. Once you get that idea of picking there, then it's a little easier. You got the 2 movements. Plucking the string to get the 3rd fret to ring out, and then over on this side, doing that to get the open to ring. Does that make more sense for you?
That helps. Thank you.
Yeah, oh, you're welcome. So E7 to F, again, I watch my fingers make that change. And my secret is these 2 guys, my bunny ear fingers, right? Getting them to go. And then lifting, of course, lifting off the finger that I don't need. But it's about practicing that, right? And just being really aware of how far that middle finger needs to go as well. And that helps me with that sort of bit awkward kind of change, hey? Hammer-ons. How are the hammer-ons going at the beginning? Oh, I see some not working out yet, and some What
I
about
can't get the second sound.
what's that?
I can't get the second, like it'll go. Like you can't. I can hear it barely, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there's a couple things going on there. If you tip your hand like that, you lose your energy. Okay. In order for me to get a double hammer-on is kind of a crazy technique, right? I would suggest you guys do this. I'm not actually picking, I'm just putting down, yeah. So I'm just working on this hand. And I'm putting it down, listen. It's not going to be loud. But what I'm doing is I've got my fingers are landing on their tips, pretty well on their tips, right? Right next to the fret. If you're back here, it's so much harder to get it to ring out. It's so hard. So nice and close to the fret when you land. You can even do that and just get that feel of how close you need to be to the fret. These are things that I practiced, you know. I guess I don't have a social life. So once you get that feeling of having that pointer finger anchored down and still have that middle finger land on its tip. So I'm not crushing it down, right? Like I'm not using a lot of strength to do that. But what happens is when I put my finger down, see how it's landing on its tip? and it stays down. I don't let it twitch up. It's the twitching up that stops hammer-ons from ringing out, because people do this and they approach it slow, or they lift up. They release that pressure. So when that pressure goes down, keep it down, and that'll help it ring out. That said, though, you don't have to worry about getting it all. That's optional stuff. If you can get this and then pick the second note, sounds totally fine. Totally fine. Whichever way you get it done. But that whole hammer-on idea, finger on the tip, when it goes down and stays down, right? And doesn't twitch up. That helps me a lot. Oh, picky with the technique today. Look at me go away with the nails and the hammer-ons. Oh boy. It's neat though, once you start getting that feel. So level 2, those techniques just carry on into level 3, right? And in level 3, that's where we've just fleshed it out. Really, what we've added a lot of in level 3 is open, right? Third string open. You start to see that in there more. A lot more. Tons of opens. So I'm going to play through the opens. I'm going to do it 2 ways. First way, I'll just play it, and then I'll share the screen and play it again. So this way you can just watch my hands as I play. So it starts off the same as before. With the intro, no difference there, still just doing the double stop. Pick the notes individually, hammer them on, whatever works. Next line now. Now what I've done is underneath some of those 3s, I've got those opens written in there. And when I have an open, often I play with my thumb and my index finger. But sometimes I play with these 2 fingers. Everyone's going to be a little different, right? So you feel what feels right for you, okay? Sometimes people strum. That's okay too. And then what I did was I put some of that intro in there. What I just played was that 4th bar on the 2nd line, and that's the one that Larry pointed out. It sounded a little bit funny without the F chord underneath it to give it that harmony. And then a little bit of that intro again. Now I'm on 3rd line. The O with the brackets just means it's not part of the melody. Here comes some of the intro. Fourth line, special A minor with a 3 on top of that on the 1st string there, and then the 7 and the 5s. You can decide if you want a bar or if you just want to do 1, or you want to whichever fingering. 2, 3, F, G, 2 under the C, and then the G, where I've got open, 2, 3, 5, and you do not have to hold your fingers like this if this is not comfortable for you. Okay. I just really like that chord, so I play it a lot. You could also do this, stay with the 5 and open, right? Or maybe you're all about the open 5 and 3. Okay, you decide what way works right for your hands. Okay, and then we've got the 7, 10, 7, and in this case, I forgot to change it, it went to 5, but you can still play it up here, and just on your copy, change it to 10 on the second string instead of 5 on the first string. So that's right next to the repeat marker on line 4. You decide where you want it to be. I'll share the screen so I can tell you guys about that. That's, just see where I've highlighted at the end of line 4 in blue there, the 7, 10, 7, 5.
Can you make it bigger a bit?
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So it's this 5 here. I normally play that instead on the line below on string 2, fret 10. But I don't know if you guys remember, Shirley was talking about how last week she likes to play it on the 5th fret because it's easier for her. So you guys decide where it works right for you. If you're not sure about that, you can compare it to level 2 and see where that 10's sitting. I just can't highlight it on Adobe. I can go through and highlight little spots, but I can't on this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and play the next section of it. I'll stop sharing the screen so you can watch my hands, and then I'll share the screen again. Okay, so the next part. So we've come here from the 7-10. F. Oh, got someone else coming in here. All right, so we've got the F chord, and then a full G chord. Strum it, pluck it. C, rest, E7, 2, F, O3 under the G. This is the bottom line of page 1. And then I've got just the second string and the third string open. And again with that E7. Now we're on the last line. O, O3, G, O2, pull off. Okay. 2, 3, 3, 5 and open. 3, 5, 7 and strings 2 and 3 open. So I'm going to share that screen now, and we can go through and play it together. Now, Lynette just joined us. Lynette, welcome. We're working on level 3 of Imagine. Okay, let's do this. I'll share that screen. And Lynette, I'm not sure if you've been to my website, but you can get the sheets and the information off my website. Okay, so level 3. We'll just take it nice and slow, and I'll try to behave myself and stay slow. Okay, so right on the beginning, which is just like the other copies, right? So on the C, 1 and 2 and 3 and C major 7. Now under the F with the O and 1 and 2 and 3 and optional hammer-ons. Now repeat, 3, O, under the C major 7, now F, optional hammer-ons, line 2, C major 7, under the F, pluck it or strum it, now the fill-in of the intro, under the C, O, 3, 3, 3, 3, C major 7, and the F with the suspension, 2, O, intro part, line 3, O, 3, 3, 2, 2, F, here comes some of that intro, under the C, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2 under the F, the intro part. I have to scroll up. Hang on here. There we go. Okay, so now we're on line 4. O, 3, O, special A minor, up to 7, 7 in the 5s, 5, F chord if you want to play it, and G, 2, 2, 3, that fancy G, voice it the way that works for your hands. Okay, here we go, 7, 10, 7, 5 or 10. Now back to the repeat at the top there. O, 3, 3, 3, 3, under the C major 7, F, 2, part of the intro, under the C, C major 7, F, part of that intro. Next line, under the C, under the F, under the C, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, under the F, 1, 2. Okay, next line. Under that A minor, that's that special A minor. 7. Okay, now we're up at that barring on the 5th fret. 2, F, and G. And fancy G there. Now I scroll. Hang on here. Just hold on to that chord, you guys. Can I do it? There we go. Okay, so now we're at the very top right hand corner there with a 7, 10, 7, 7, 5 or 7, 10. Okay, next line under the F there. G. Whoopsie. Now C. E7, 3, 4, F. O, 3, now under the G. 2, 2, O, O. Now under that C with just strings 2 and 3 plucked open. 2, E7. Last line there with the F. O, O, 3, G. O, 2 under the C. 3, O, 3, E7. And F. Under the G with a 5 and O. 3, 5, 7, 3, 3. Did we finish together? Did we do it? Kinda? Yes! Awesome! All right, now questions about level 3. Level 3 is kind of busy already, isn't it? Wait till you see level 4. The technical things are the same. The pull-off and the hammer-on. Nothing's been added there. Is there any part that you want me to play again or go through?
Tina, what do brackets mean?
The brackets, I put those in there so that you could see that that doesn't have any melody notes in it. That's all that means. And I pulled out a lot of that for level 4 because I was hoping by the time level 4 rolls around, you've got a bit more of a definition about what the melody is versus the chords.
And then I'm wondering,
Go ahead, Rosemary.
sometimes you're picking and sometimes you're strumming.
I am, and I'm doing that so that you can see that you can play it either way.
Okay.
But with those bigger chords, I often like to give them a strum so that you do have a different sound. So for example, bar 11 here. So see where I've highlighted it with blue there, this bar, this line here. So I'll play that line. Picking. going to throw in some strums. A few single strums can really help to define the phrasing of a song, hey? So that's often why I do that, just to try to keep people open to the idea of expressing themselves both by plucking and by strumming. I'm glad you mentioned that. It's a really good way to define parts of a song. Like
It was the same question that I had, Tina, on that same line when you get to the bar 13 over to 14.
Yep.
We've got the G, and then you just pluck the 2 and then the 3. Are you doing C and then just strumming the 3 strings?
I am there, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then down on the 18th bar where you have just as the 0 0, the C and the E string, you're just strumming those 2 strings, right?
That's right, yeah. And the reason for that is the note on string 2, that open, that's your melody.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just giving it the C note sound underneath that to keep it going. You could, if you wanted to, toss in your 4th string open for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because usually I find myself pinching when I see, especially 2 on the A string and then the top string or the 3. I usually pinch those.
Yeah. I was probably pinching that too, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is where I sometimes I pluck with 2 fingers, sometimes I pinch with my thumb and my finger, sometimes I strum.
You strum, yeah. So it's all just what your fingers want to do at the time, right? In the sound.
Honestly, quite often, yes, absolutely. There's some defining areas, right? Like to do a pinch there where you're talking about on bar 18.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? Because it's in the middle there, the middle
Yes.
strings. It feels right for me to just pinch there.
And because it goes to that awkward E7 for me, it's a lot easier just to think about pinching right there and then getting ready to do that E7, which I'm still practicing to try to get to that smoothly.
It'll come, Things can be a work in progress for a while, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Does anyone else have questions about level 3? Any parts there that you want to have clarified, or any way that I played that you want to know more about? Take a look at the chat here. Okay, so got some questions about best fingering on the fret, A minor chord to 7th fret. Okay, so what I like to do there with that special A minor there with the 3rd fret, I use my pinky on the 3rd fret. So we're looking at bar 11 under the A minor, where I've got my A minor chord with the 3rd fret. I use my index finger on the 2nd fret, string 4, my baby finger on the 3rd fret, because it gives me a chance to get comfortably up to that 7th fret. At the same time that I play that 7th fret, I'm anticipating the barring that's coming, and I have my index finger hovering over that bar. The reason why I don't use my 3rd finger there is I find that I'm not always comfortable moving quickly to that position up to the 7th fret and doing that barring. So I tend to use my pinky there. It looks kind of squished when I'm down in the open position, but I find that quite handy for me. So then I anticipate my index finger landing on the 5th fret to bar. And it just works out really nice for my hands. That's what I do there. Now bar 14 and 22. What I do there, I'm just going to stop sharing the screen so you guys can watch my hands. I think that'll be easier. All right, so let's go back to that fancy A minor. I find I've got a little bit more support for, it just works for my hands, you know. Okay, and then bar 14, I'm going to keep going. So I do that. So I've got index, middle, and baby. I don't ever try to do this sort of stretch. My hands are just not big enough for that. And I find that it feels awkward. I often think about how you can have a 4-finger spread. See how each finger is assigned to a fret there? See how they just sit so nicely there. Okay, so that's bar 14 with that fancy G. And then when I come up here, I use my index finger on the 7th fret. Seven, 10, and see how I keep my index finger down on that 7 because I'm coming back to it. 7, 10, 7, 10. You'll often see me anchoring a finger when I'm playing in different positions. In this case, the part we're talking about is bar 14, where it says NC for no chord. I don't lift up my index finger because I'm going right back to playing it. Sometimes I'll see people do this. And you're thinking about each note as an individual, isolated by itself. But I would keep that pointer finger down. Think efficient when you're doing these sorts of chord melodies or finger picking songs, you know. Don't lift up a finger unless you really need to, because it's going to slow you down, and then you've got to use that energy to make sure you've got that finger going right back to where it needs to be. If it was already there, let it just stay there. Now I've got another question. Bar 22. Okay, guys, let's scroll down to bar 22. Let's take a look there. The very ending. Because I'm approaching, it looks kind of funny, right? Because I'm using my pinky finger here. But whatever finger I have up on my 7th fret, I'm just going to use that same one to slide down to my 3rd fret. So let me see. So the bar before, under the G, I used my baby finger on my 5th fret. So I'm just shifting it up there. I'm shifting. And that's why I land with my baby finger there. I would suggest trying to keep a flow like that. Sometimes, if you're like that and you've got your ring finger on your 5th fret, and you're playing with your pointer finger on your 3rd fret there, then I would shift up with whatever note finger you've used on that 5th fret. Does that make sense, Leslie? Yeah? Okay. Oh, awesome. I can get pretty, for myself, I get really thoughtful about what fingers come before a bar, and my fingering will change with a song depending on how much more I'm adding to it. So level 4, my fingering might be a little bit different to accommodate things that are going on. I don't think in this version though that I wrote up for you guys, but if there's a way that I can keep my finger down to be more efficient with my movement, I will do that. And it's something to think about with any song you guys play. if there's, I call them anchor fingers, right? So if you can anchor a finger, it's going to make it easier for you to gain confidence with your playing, whether it's with making different chord shapes or with flowing throughout a melody, you know. So therefore, again, the last two bars of level 3 there, just shift up. The bonus too with doing something like that is that you get that glissando sound, so it echoes the human voice a bit more. Just a little bit in there, right? Doesn't need to be overdone. Just want to make sure that I answered the questions in a way that makes sense for you guys, because I'm here to. It's already 10 o'clock and I haven't even gotten to level 4. I just looked at the time. Okay, so I think we're going to have to do level 4 next week, but I'm going to play it for you guys. It's up on my website. I want to play it, and if you guys don't have anywhere to go, give me like 5 minutes to do that. Focus here again. Oh my gosh. Kind of panicked there. Level 4, all that work I did and I haven't played it for you guys. All right. I'm just gonna, I'll share it, and you'll see a lot of what I've done is I've just offset melody to the 3rd string. Okay, so here it is. Intro's the same as it ever was. That's not changing. So we can all play the intro now, right? That's so nice. Okay, on this next line there will be some changes. 0, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2. Then under the F, I just pluck because I've got more of the intro. Under the C major 7, I separated things. I've got 2. Hear that? Line 3 now. 3, 0, 3, 0. So I've taken what we did before on bar 7 there, line 3, right here. I had these guys put together as a chord that you could pinch, and now I've separated it. And it echoes the piano sound from the intro. That's why I've done that. Under the F. Now I'm going to move up here a little bit. Added some stuff on this line. It gets a little busier. Okay, the note I've added, bar 11, under that 3 I've put in number 1, fret 1, because that's still part of the F chord carrying over. So if you wanted to add that in there, it's got kind of a nice sound there. Separated that, 7 and 0. And the D minor 7 bar, that looks different now, right? Like I've still got my 7 and 5s, going to that 5, but look at what I did there. I just put in a nice little, and then down to your G. So I would recommend under the G, plucking there with your fingers and having your thumb on your 4th string. Okay. I added in something to the 7 and 10 part too. Look at that. Woohoo! I'm added in an extra note there, you guys. I like it so much more like that. 7, 10, 7, 10, and that's a little faster. If you look up at the notation, you can see that instead of just the eighth notes for that 7, 10, there's 16th notes there. Da, 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 da. And do you see the little line next to that 8? I'll zoom in a bit more. The little line next to that 8 just means to slide. And that's like the glissando slide. You're sliding with whatever's left from that note. That's all that is. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up just to the top of the page here where I've highlighted it in blue there, and I'll play through that part again. Okay. That centers it pretty nicely there. F, plucking, hammer-ons if you want, or not. Next line, under the C major 7, now F, under the C, under the G. Oh, sorry. 7, 10, 7, 10, 8. Love those slides. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit here. And I'll just play it one bar or one line at a time. Under the G, C. Look what I did here. I got rid of the strum of the E7. Right? Oh, it's a, I see lots of cheering there. Okay, so you guys totally know your E7 chord now. Then.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Now let me play this part here. Oh, it's so much fun to play. I kind of muffed it. My ukulele started flying off my lap. Let me start that line again. Under the G, O2, under the C. I just think it's so pretty to play like that. Under the G, and then that same pinch under the C. Now here comes that new part again. And then, so the handy thing with that E7 shape now, just lay down the notes as you need them, you guys. That's all I do. Okay, I lay down my first fret first with my index finger, and then I lay down my middle finger, right? Because I can just lay it down as I pick it. But you totally know your E7 to F, no problem. So you could sit and strum and sing this song with people because you know your chords so well. Okay, now the last line. So I did my F, right? I did my da, 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 da. Here comes your F. Oh, look under that hammer on now, big fat C chord. Watch out, though I did add in some of these ones. You see that under the 3? It's not too bad to do it because you already have that index finger laying down from your F chord before, right? You've already set that up. And I didn't change this part. Oh, it's so much fun to play it like this. Oh. So, you guys might find this version even easier than level 3 because the E7 to F aren't just a strum anymore. You can sit and just pick it, and I'm using these guys to pick. Thumb on my 4th string, index finger. Watch this. There we go. I'm just playing the last 2 lines of it. See that? You can pluck it, you can strum it. I had to throw that in there. I really like that level 4 version. It's more the way I play it, but at this point you guys have gotten your techniques together, right? Now, level 4 has a lot of stuff in it. You guys decide what you want to have in your version of it, right? Because, you know, like I always say, we're all different people, right? You play it the way you want to play it with the extra bits in there that you want to put in there. But that's closer to the way I like to play it. So. Now I need to stop my live stream, I think. Let me just...
Can you play bar 11 again, please?
Absolutely.
Because from the 7 to the 00 back to the D minor 7 kind of confuses me.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of a weird part, right? Okay, so bar 11. So this is the level 4 version. So I'm going... Now I've got my 3rd fret. Look at me going with that baby finger all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I've just split it apart for this one, so it's still similar to what we had before.
Okay. Okay. That's 7/0. Yeah. Okay. I got it now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. And I love that. See how I wiggle my finger and I get that little vibrato-y sound, right? Let it ring out, you know, and strumming parallel to the frets really helps there too, right? It gives it just a really nice, rich strum. I just got another suggestion for another song to arrange. Fields of Gold. Did you guys know that Sting tune? Yeah. I like that suggestion too. That's a nice one to play. Okay, so watch that 7/10 thing I just did too. See how I shifted my fingers as I went down there? I do that because if I come down and I play my F with that middle finger, I kind of get stuck fingering wise. Like it's harder for me to reach around and get going. So I use this as a nice chance to kind of reset myself. That slide, it's really handy for me there. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. That hour went by so fast, you guys. That was crazy.
You send me a PDF of 4?
Okay, hang on here, you guys. Let me just set up my email and... Okay, so for everyone that was watching me